Silence, all stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honorable court now draw nigh. Give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Admission of lawyers. Gracie Ellen Adam.
May it please the court, I move that Gracie Ellen Adam be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Gracie Ellen Adam be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Andrew John Austin Rogers.
May it please the court, I move that my son, Andrew John Austin Rogers, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Andrew John Austin Rogers be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Danielle Barakat.
May it please the court, I move that Danielle Barakat be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Danielle Barakat be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jessie Marie Bedwell.
May it please the court, I move that my wife, Jessie Marie Bedwell, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jessie Marie Bedwell be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Bo Jonathan Brennan.
May it please the court, I move that Bo Jonathan Brennan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Bo Jonathan Brennan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Meha Kaur Shavla.
May it please the court, I move that Meher Kaur Chawla be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Meha Kaur Chawla be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Gareth Junji Chi.
May it please the court, I move that Gareth Junji Chi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Gareth Junji Chi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ji Hei Choi.
May it please the court, I move that Gi Hei Choi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable
Let
court.
Ji Hei Choi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Benjamin Thomas Cosgrove.
May it please the court, I move that our grandson, Benjamin Thomas Cosgrove, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Benjamin Thomas Cosgrove be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kayla Christie Curtis.
May it please the court, I move that Kayla Christie Curtis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kayla Christie Curtis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Gina David.
May it please the court, I move that Gina David be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Gina David be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jasmine Durbis.
May it please the court, I move that Jasmine Durbis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jasmine Durbis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Monica Magdi Samir Atala Eskander.
May it please the court, I move that Monica Magdi Samir Atala Eskander be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Monica Magdi Sami Atala Iskander be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Chi Ian Guo.
May it please the court, I move that Jian Guo be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jian Go be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jacob Hamilton.
May it please the court, I move that Jacob Hamilton be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jacob Hamilton be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zi Jian Han.
May it please the court, I move that Zi Jian Han be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Si Jian Han be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Judith Ann Herbert.
May it please the court, I move that Judith Ann Herbert be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Judith Ann Herbert be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nadeem Ismail.
May it please the court, I move that Nadeem Ismail be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nadeem Ismail be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Joshua Peter Jungma.
May it please the court, I move that Joshua Peter Youngma be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Joshua Peter Jongma be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Renee Sophia Kaloudis.
May it please the court, I move that Renee Sophia Kaludis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Renee Sophia Kaludis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Susan Bahar Yasemin Kandemi.
May it please the court, I move that Susan Bahar Yasmin Kandemir be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Susan Bahar Yasmin Kandemir be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Katie Kells.
May it please the court, I move that Katie Kells be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Katie Kells be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Hannah Jane Kohler.
May it please the court, I move that Hannah Jane Kohler be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Hannah Jane Kohler be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rita Lahoud.
May it please the court, I move that Rita Lahoud be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Rita Lahoud be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kimberly May Lowe.
May it please the court, I move that Kimberly May Lowe be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kimberly May Lowe be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Casper Gia Rong Lu.
May it please the court, I move that Casper Gia Rong Lu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Casper Gia Rong Lu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Timothy Philip Matthew.
May it please the court, I move that Timothy Philip Matthew be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Timothy Philip Matthew be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Francesco Mazzatelli.
May it please the court, I move that Francesco Mazzitelli be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Francesco Mazzatelli be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lauren Fiona Merritt.
May it please the court, I move that Lauren Fiona Merritt be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lauren Fiona Merritt be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
William Giuseppe Mitchell.
May it please the court, I move that my son, William Giuseppe Mitchell, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let William Giuseppe Mitchell be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tiana Moodley.
May it please the court, I move that Tiana Moodley be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tiana Moodley be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Dean Metopoulos.
May it please the court, I move that Dean Metopoulos be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Dean Metopoulos be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Joseph Daniel Murphy.
May it please the court, I move that my nephew, Joseph Daniel Murphy, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Joseph Daniel Murphy be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Satvinder Nagra.
May it please the court, I move that Satvinder Nagra be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Satvinder Nagra be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Hui Ro Peng.
May it please the court, I move that Hui Ro Pang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Hieroa Pang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Talia Ji Young Park.
May it please the court, I move that Talia Jeon Park be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Talia Ji-Young Park be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Monica G.E. Park.
May it please the court, I move that Monica Jean Park be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Monica Jean Park be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Beulah Wimston Abbott Penne.
May it please the court, I move that Beulah Winston Abbott Penne be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable
Let
court.
Beulah Wimston Abbott Penne be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Dilnor Rangi.
May it please the court, I move that Dilnor Rangi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Dilnor Rangi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anna Christina Ritchie.
May it please the court, I move that Anna Christina Ritchie be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anna Christina Ritchie be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jen Evelyn Rivera.
May it please the court, I move that Jen Evelyn Rivera be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jen Evelyn Rivera be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Amy Riz.
May it please the court, I move that Amy Risk be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Amy Risk be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Gabriella Carlo Di Benedetto Santoro.
May it please the court, I move that my son, Gabriele Carlo Di Benedetto Santoro, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Gabriele Carlo Di Benedetto Santoro be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Georgina Ellie Scott.
May it please the court, I move that Georgina Ellie Scott be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Georgina Ellie Scott be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sajal Sagal.
May it please the court, I move that my brother Sajal Sehgal be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sajal Sehgal be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sarah Louise Shipman.
May it please the court, I move that Sarah Louise Shipman be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sarah Louise Shipman be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Miranda Gibb Smith.
May it please the court, I move that my wife Miranda Gibb Smith be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Miranda Gibb Smith be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sophie Kate Taylor.
May it please the court, may I move that Sophie Kate Taylor be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sophie Kate Taylor be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alexandra Alana Tao.
May it please the court, may I move that Alana Tao be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable
Let
court.
Alexandra Alana Tao be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Emma Elizabeth Trotter.
May it please the court, I move that Emma Elizabeth Trotter be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Emma Elizabeth Trotter be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Eliza Tasunis.
May it please the court, I move that my sister, Alyssa Tasunis, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alyssa Tsunis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Madison Emily Vangi.
May it please the court, I move that Madison Emily Vangi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable
Let
court.
Madison Emily Vangi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Fern Mary Jane Wakely.
May it please the court, I move that Fern Mary Jane Wakely be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Fern Mary Jane Wakely be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lachlan Jardine Ward.
May it please the court, I move that Lachlan Jardine Ward be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lachlan Jardine Ward be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shun Sang Reo Wong.
May it please the court, I move that Shun Sang Reo Wong be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Shun Shang Reo Wong be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sharon Hoi Jan Wong.
May it please the court, I move that Sharon Hoi Jan Wong be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sharon Hoi Jan Wong be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Huan Long Yang.
May it please the court, I move that Chow Long Yang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Chan Long Yang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kate Shen Yi.
May it please the court, I move that Kate Shen Yu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kate Shen Yi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jae Hee Yoon.
May it please the court, I move that Jae Hee Yoon be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jae Hee Yoon be admitted as a lawyer of this court. Will now be necessary for those applicants whose admission has been moved to stand and to remain standing as directed for the purpose of swearing an oath or making a declaration or affirmation. So please stand as directed by the officer.
Would the first two rows to my right please stand? Gracie Ellen Adam. Andrew John Austin Rogers. Danielle Barakat. Jessie Marie Bedwell. Bo Jonathan Brennan. Maha Kaur Chavla. Gareth Junji Chi. Ji Hei Choi. Benjamin Thomas Cosgrove. Kayla Christie Curtis. Gina David. Jasmine Durbis. Monica Magdi Samir Atala Eskander. Chi Yan Go. Jacob Hamilton. Zijian Han. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? I do. Please be seated. Thank you. For the next two rows to my right, please stand. Judith Ann Herbert. Nadeem Ismail. Joshua Peter Jungma. Renee Sophia Kalodis. Susan Bahir Yasemin Kandemi. Katie Kells. Hannah Jane Kohler. Rita Lahood. Kimberly May Lowe. Caspar Gia Rong Lu. Timothy Philip Matthew. Francesco Mazzatelli. Lauren Fiona Merritt. William Giuseppe Mitchell. Tiana Moodley. Dean Metopoulos. Joseph Daniel Murphy. Satvinder Nagra. Hua Ro Peng. Talia Ji Yung Park. Monica Jin E Park. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability. Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
So help me God.
Thank you. Please be seated. The row to the front, please stand. Beulah Wimston Abbott Nene, Dilnor Rangi, Anna Christina Ritchie, Jen Evelyn Rivera, Amy Rizk, Gabriele Carlo Di Benedetto Santoro, Georgina Ellie Scott, Sanjal Sigal, Sarah Louise Shipman. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated. The two rows to my left, please stand. Miranda Gibb Smith, Sophie Kate Taylor, Alexandra Alana Tau, Emma Elizabeth Trotter, Alyssa Tissonis, Madison Emily Vangie, Fern Mary Jane Wakely, Lachlan Jardine Ward, Shun Sang Reo Wong, Sharon Hui Jan Wong, Chuanglong Yang, Kate Xian Yi, Jae Yun. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
I do.
Please be seated. Thank you.
Well, may I warmly welcome you all to the Banco Court of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench today, to my right, is Justice White, Judge of the New South Wales Court of Appeal. To my left, Justice Campbell. To Justice White's right, Justice Lonergan. To Justice Campbell's left, Justice Irace, each of whom are judges of the Common Law Division of the Court. Together, we constitute the court that has, in the exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you, the newly admitted lawyers, to practice. We've done so sitting in this, as I said, the Banco Court, which sits on the land for which the Gadigal of the Eora Nation have cared and been custodians for thousands of years, and the court pays its sincere respects to elders past and present and extends those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Well, to all the newly admitted lawyers, welcome to the legal profession. Today is one for celebration, and I'm also pleased to welcome those with you today or watching on the live stream. For many of you, the support of your family and friends will have been invaluable on your journey to this point. No doubt they've been on the receiving end of finely polished or developing skills of argument and persuasion, and I encourage you to take time to thank them this afternoon. Depending on how good an advocate you are or have become, you might even be able to convince them to shout you dinner or at least several rounds of drinks. We sitting here on the bench know how hard you have all worked to get here. It's a memory that never really leaves you, and for most of you, we appreciate that your journey has involved these last 3 very challenging years affected by the pandemic. So you have managed your legal studies and qualifications, obtaining your qualifications with the additional adversity unprecedented in our lifetimes, which makes your achievements in gaining admission all the more impressive. And no doubt the resilience you have developed will stand you well into the future. Well, being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you join an honourable and ancient profession with the custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dating back to the 12th century. This court first admitted lawyers to practice in 1824, almost 200 years ago, and by 1830 the names of lawyers were entered onto the rolls in this state, as you will do immediately after this ceremony. And it's in acknowledgement of the weighty responsibility you undertake in becoming a lawyer of this court that we observe today's unique formalities, including the fact that your admission has been moved by someone who is already a member of the legal profession, and also by the fact that you have just made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of your family and peers, as well as the court. They and we are all therefore witnesses to the promises and undertakings you have made today. The law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different interesting directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation you have just made is a serious one and calls for solemn regard. Whether you work in private practice, at the bar, in a community legal centre, a Crown Law Office, a government department or agency, or in an entirely different field, you should be and you must be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice, and you must strive at all times to uphold these cardinal values. Admission as a member of the legal profession is a privilege and not a right. Now, I referred earlier to tradition and formality, and you'll see from some of the portraits on the walls of this court that we on the bench are wearing the same robes, in some cases literally, I might say, as have been worn by our predecessors. Symbolically, that highlights the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales, although the judges wearing the robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool. As to continuity of the rule of law, in a world in which there is much global uncertainty and insecurity, the rule of law is more important than ever, and not simply a phrase of some theoretical import or academic interest. The rule of law is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists, and we know from current events around the world that there is nothing theoretical about those threats to a democratic and civilised society. Now, notwithstanding the formality and tradition attending this ceremony, not everything in the legal profession remains unchanged or unchanging. COVID-19 meant a rapid shift to increased use of virtual courtroom technology to ensure access to justice continued in the midst of and throughout the pandemic. And we are proud of what was able to be achieved in the courts in that regard. And we also, of course, salute those other professions, particularly in the fields of health and education, who did so much for our community throughout the pandemic. But returning to the legal profession, the technological impetus brought about by the pandemic has also delivered greater workplace flexibility, which is especially important for lawyers with family and caring responsibilities, and also for those in regional and remote communities. It has had a profound impact. It has had profound implications for how our legal system interacts with and is able to reach many more people throughout our country. Although the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, the practice of the law has human nature and human interaction at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people and human nature, how others react to different situations, perform under pressure, and deal with each other. As I said in my swearing-in speech as Chief Justice, whilst the remote practice of the law may be possible, it is far from desirable. There are, of course, other changes that deserve attention in addition to those brought about by the pandemic. When we think of the diversity of the legal profession, we encounter a duality that in some respects we've come a long way, but in other respects more still needs to be done. For example, although women were originally not even permitted to practice law in the colony and for a time the state of New South Wales, since 2018, women have made up more than half of all solicitors with a practising certificate in New South Wales, and make up two-thirds of solicitors under the age of 30. And some of the most senior positions in the law in Australia, including the Chief Justices of the High Court, Victoria, Queensland and the ACT, as well as the President of our own Court of Appeal, Justice Ward, are distinguished female lawyers, as is the New South Wales Director of Public Prosecutions, the Senior Public Defender, and the Presidents of the Bar Association and the Law Society. There should also be a strong representation of lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates, and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system, whether voluntarily or not, can and feel that they can be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflective of our broader community. The admission ceremonies on which I have sat since becoming a judge almost 4 years ago now, including this very ceremony, highlight that there is a far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than when we, sitting on the bench, commenced practice. That is a very good thing, and the leaders of the profession and of the courts are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity in the profession. That in turn, as I have said, builds trust in and respect for both the judiciary and the legal profession, and ultimately for the rule of law. You, the newly admitted lawyers sitting here today, enter the profession at a time when more than ever your words and actions are having an impact for good. And shortly I'll invite two young lawyers who were in your shoes not so very long ago to say a few words of welcome to you. The legal profession is one rich with opportunities. But let me first offer a little bit more of, I hope not gratuitous advice. As a lawyer, you will often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You must use the tools you have developed to think critically and not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and the administration of justice. One mistake I would urge you to try not to make is to fall into the trap of giving your clients the advice you think they want to hear. That will almost certainly not be good advice. Justice Gageler, before he was on the High Court, said, and I quote, "You must be prepared to give the same answer to the same questions for the same reasons, no matter who asks the question or for what purpose or in what context the asking may occur." As usual, from Justice Gageler, that's very good advice. Being a lawyer means that you are an advisor, a problem solver, a mediator, and an advocate. As you go about your day-to-day work, remember that you're not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but law as it applies to people's lives. An individual in need of your services as a lawyer is often an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis, affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being, or health or financial position. For these reasons, you must always strive to deliver legal services sensitively, competently and fearlessly, yes, but always with courtesy and integrity, remembering at all times that you are members of a profession and not a business. And remember this, that the best advocates can and do make their point simply and succinctly. Often, less is more. Some of the most experienced lawyers and judges, from whom I do not exclude myself, could use that reminder from time to time. For a non-lawyer, law is often incomprehensible or very challenging, and one of your roles as a lawyer will be to make the law accessible to others, sometimes by deciphering legal complexities, or other times by deciphering poor legal drafting, but more often than not simply sorting out a complex set of facts and putting it into the correct legal framework to understand rights and liabilities. Strive to be clear and concise at all times in both your writing and your speaking. Now, at various points of your career, you will make mistakes, some minor, some more serious. We all make mistakes from time to time, especially when starting something new. What is important, I think, is that you try not to make the same mistake twice, and if and when you do make mistakes, that your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from any such mistakes. What's also important in the practice of the law is your physical and mental health. There may, and I dare say, will be times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or distressed. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. Now, often it's all-consuming because it's in the nature of many lawyers to want to go the extra mile, to spend an extra couple of hours making sure documents are in order or the facts sorted or the papers are properly prepared, and that's an honourable thing. But it is a demanding, at times, all-consuming profession. So you must work hard to keep your balance and keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues do too. If you do get overwhelmed by it all, as frankly we all have from time to time and still do, try to take a step back and recapture some perspective. Also remember that the law is a highly collegiate profession. And in this context, let me now call upon two young representatives of the New South Wales Bar and the Law Society to say a few brief words of welcome. So, Miss Ernst, do you move?
May it please the Court. My name is Christine Ernst, and I've been at the bar for about 3 years now, practicing principally in commercial law and in public law. On behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I'd like to warmly welcome you to the legal profession. As the Chief Justice said, the legal profession is an old profession based on precedent and the rule of law, while also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to new practices and technology, and most importantly, to adapt to society's values as they change over time. For several decades now, the composition of lawyers and barristers in New South Wales has changed to better reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for people of all genders and backgrounds, and you are all welcome, either straight away or after some time as a solicitor, to apply to come to the bar. It is an honour to be a lawyer, and in my case, a barrister, and I'm very proud to be a member of the legal profession. I enjoy the intellectual challenge of my job and that it allows me to give expert advice to and represent people in court and to contribute to society in a meaningful way. If you're interested in coming to the bar, you can contact the New South Wales Bar Association or have a look at its website on the steps to take. Each year there is a Career at the Bar Open Day. To become a barrister, you must pass the bar exams and satisfactorily complete the bar practice course and reading requirements in your first year at the bar. In terms of the support available, in your first year of practice, you're what's called a reader. You have 2 tutors who are barristers of at least 7 years seniority, and they meet with you weekly, review your work and teach you practical skills, whether by having you appear with them in court or by other means. The bar is also, as the Chief Justice said, renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers, so you are not isolated or alone. The New South Wales Bar Association is the professional body that supports barristers, and it has several barristers' committees. Some examples are a New Barristers Committee, which organises social and educational functions for barristers in their first 5 years at the bar, like me. There is also a Wellbeing Committee, which runs seminars on health and well-being, promoting balance between work and other parts of your life. There's also a Diversity and Equality Committee, which promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar Association, which is to attract the best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, or sexual preference. So whether as a lawyer or as a barrister, I encourage you to get involved in the Law Society, which my colleague here is from, or the Bar Association, and to use your skills to assist your community. It's a very rewarding experience to practice in connection with others in your profession. So once again, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession and I congratulate you on your admission today as a lawyer of this honourable court. May it please the court.
Thank you. Ms. Seraphim for the Law Society of New South Wales.
May it please the court. My name is Leah Seraphim. I'm the president of New South Wales Young Lawyers and a solicitor at Herbert Smith Freehills. Not so long ago, I stood where you are standing today, and what a day it is. You are here being admitted to the Supreme Court role as the final step at the end of a long and arduous journey. You should all feel immensely proud of what you have achieved thus far. When I embarked on my career as a solicitor, I had no real idea of what to expect. It has not been easy. Often, it was overwhelming. But as I stand here today, after working in taxation law since my own admission ceremony, I can tell you I have already learnt a thing or two. One thing I have learnt is the importance of belonging to a profession. The legal profession is an increasingly large and diverse community, and one to which you now all belong. The Law Society of New South Wales is the home of that community, with over 30,000 members flung far and wide across the state. We are bound by our shared duties, our commitment to continuous learning, our desire to connect, and our drive to give back to our communities and to uphold the rule of law. As an early career lawyer, belonging to a strong network of peers is crucial. That is why I have been part of New South Wales Young Lawyers for the past 7 years. Here I have found friendship, inspiration, guidance, and support when I needed it most, as well as opportunities to advocate and to join committees. By joining the Law Society and New South Wales Young Lawyers, you will gain access to professional support, conferences and events, a wide range of publications, professional development opportunities, mentoring, volunteer opportunities, and so much more. It is the role of the Law Society and New South Wales Young Lawyers to ensure that you, as newly minted solicitors, can survive and thrive in the legal profession. So again, congratulations to you all. We look forward to welcoming you to the New South Wales Young Lawyers community. May it please the court.
Thank you. Well, can I say this to you all in closing? The law is a wonderful profession. It's stimulating, it's challenging and satisfying, and it's populated by intelligent, committed and dynamic people. You should be proud to be a lawyer and of your achievements to date, and you should remain proud to be a lawyer. The legal profession is a most important profession, and you are now a very important part of it. So hold your heads high and the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead. On behalf of my colleagues here on the bench and all of our colleagues on the Supreme Court of New South Wales, I once again congratulate you on your admission to the legal profession and welcome you to it. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.
So for those of you that have just been admitted, just a reminder that you will